Welcome, welcome everyone. Hi. Happy Wellness Wellbeing Wednesday. I am super excited to be here. I'm in a different place. We had some major storms last night. And so I am just in a different place and doing something a little bit different. We normally do Wellness Wellbeing Wednesday every morning. Whenever I come on live with you guys. And we do this in the Clubhouse on a platform of the Clubhouse. So, what I'm excited to do today is to come to you on both platforms as we have an amazing speaker. And this amazing speaker, I've put some accolades in about. We have been kind of talking about the countdown of everything going on. And I want to welcome anyone listening in on the replays of Clubhouse and across the whole streaming world. But today is Wellness Wellbeing Wednesday. And as I mentioned, it is just an amazing day. We have so much to be thankful for, but what I want to do is just take a few moments of stillness, just to reach out to anyone that may be hurting, anyone that is struggling from those affected in the wars in Ukraine, tragedies in Uvalde, from Syria to Lebanon. Everything that is happening around our world, just from even storms around, or maybe you've got a storm in your own family, in your own home. This is for you. Just a few moments of stillness. Asking God to just put that hedge of protection over us. Asking God just to be with all those survivors and overcomers, especially the beautiful one that's about to come on and speak for us today. Thank you so much. Well, we have a lot of awarenesses that I had mentioned, and some of them that we do have is celebrating stress awareness, National Autism Awareness, National Walking Month, National Pet Month, National Minority Health Month, Diversity Month, Garden Month, Alcohol Awareness, National Parkinson's Awareness, and most important, we have the PANCAN for pancreatic cancer. While I don't believe this is the awareness, is this the awareness summer? What month is pancreatic cancer awareness?
It is in November.
In November. Okay.
Right, but they have the walk in 60 different cities in April every year now. They're doing them all at the same time, but November is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month.
Got it. Well, my name is Michelle Maynard MacArthur, and I am your hospitality health and wellness strategist that is here to help guide you through a positive process for change. And that is with a lean, holistic healing approach from the inside out. That lean stands for our pillars of lifestyle, exercise, attitude, and nutrition. The fun part is taking and showing you to top luxury wellness destinations all over the world. I am a master certified health and wellness coach that complements a certification I have in traditional Chinese medicine, along with a 30 plus year career in hospitality, site selection, group planning, group events, tourism. So we love being able to focus on wellness workshops, wellness retreats, and executive coaching and consulting. For those of you in Clubhouse, you are in the Elephant Strategy Club or Elephant Strategy House, and this is Wellness Wellbeing Wednesday Room. And we tackle the hard topics one bite at a time. What we like to say is just do today. Tomorrow has enough worries of its own. The tips over live are being brought to you by MacArthur Accommodations, where we are a hospitality, health and wellness coaching and consulting advisement company that specializes in overall optimal health and wellness worldwide, with those innovations to reflect, recharge, and renew yourself one step at a time. what I am honored to always share is my purpose, passion, and why. That I am an overcomer, not just a survivor into a thriver, but that overcomer of a progressive, degenerative neuromuscular disorder, along with depression, for over 30 years now. But I sit, stand, am here with my voice, just going through the journey, sharing these struggles, sharing this journey with you of how the day to day is with my voice, especially most passionately to be a voice for those that do not have. And today we have an amazing speaker, and she is one of the co founders of the Elephant Strategy Club. She is a beautiful sister in Christ that I have been blessed to meet at the beginning, somewhere in the pandemic. And she's going to tell us all about that. The series that we have this month is Revitalizing Yourself with Lasting Lifestyle Changes and a Wellness Mindset. And today, what we are talking about is walking the talk part 2. Because if you look back, we did a part 1, and this is a pancreatic cancer survivor, the story, the signs, what's next with the 2023 PANCAN Walk, and what goes next in her journey. The special guest speaker that I've been speaking about is Summer Decoste. And Summer is a hope dealer. She is a survivor of pancreatic cancer and an artist, beautiful artist. Her journey is to discover the art of reading, living as an artist. Painting is her passion and a part of wellness therapy, painting daily. Her motto is about building strength where I am weak and building upon where I am strong. Sharing her whole body wellness journey, which includes mind and soul for her community, is key. And so without further ado, I want to introduce one of these co-partners, co-founders. I'm not sure exactly what the proper thing is in Clubhouse, where we are as well, and focus on the hard things, one bite at a time. And my question to all of you is about, what do you know about PanCan? And have you or a loved one been affected with this horrific disease called pancreatic cancer? So I'm going to turn over the mic to Summer. I will probably just take out so you don't see me and you can really just focus on listening to Summer for this time, because she has some beautiful words. Her camera, she couldn't get that on because she's she's juggling many balls as well. So welcome, Summer. Welcome, and thank you for being here.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Michelle. And it's a pleasure to be here. And thank you for letting me share about PanCan and pancreatic cancer, what PanCan is doing. Actually, we have a walk on Saturday, and I'm really excited about that. As you know, as a survivor, but the one thing that I'm not excited about is the statistics for pancreatic cancer, and that's that 12%. You have a 12% chance to survive pancreatic cancer right now. That's one of the missions of PanCan, is to make that number much better. And in actuality, I mean, everyone deserves a lifetime. So that's part of why we are walking for PanCan on Saturday. But thank you for letting me talk about just, when it comes to pancreatic cancer, more than 64,000 Americans. That's a huge number. That's higher than it has been. The reality to that is that when 12% of those people, make it through pancreatic cancer, that's 7,400 people out of 64,000 people. So I understand that I am fortunate, and it is only by the grace of God that I'm talking to you right now. I mean, I do believe that God He simply said not yet. I mean, I know that we all have the same ending, we just don't know when. But if you're lucky enough to just know that everyone is, every one of us is going somewhere, and if you know that, then you're very fortunate. I will say that, and that's where I am right now. I feel like I have come a long way since we started this journey with pancreatic cancer. I really just had symptoms of indigestion, and my back was killing me. I had no idea what was going on. So I happened to get an appointment with my doctor. Actually, she saw me the same day, and I was very pleased with that because I was one to do my annual visits, but I wasn't one to, take care of little things along the way until my annual visit. That was my MO, or until I was really in pain. So when I saw her, the good news is she recommended that I have an ultrasound and a CAT scan. And then the follow-up call was bring a friend to your next appointment or bring your husband to the next appointment. And unfortunately, my husband and my in-laws were out of town. But I did ask a friend to go along with me. And when the doctor said pancreatic cancer, everything changed, from that moment on. And I remember driving home that day, and I was in shock because, one, I didn't really understand what the pancreas was. And my thoughts were, do I need this? Can they take it out? I mean, I wasn't really thinking past that. Like, I had no clue. I was really in a fog. And my first reaction typically for me would have been to Google all of this. But I believe that it was self-protection, maybe, because I heard the gravity in the voices of my doctor, or in her voice, when she asked me to bring someone along. And then when she went through this whole description, and I remember saying, what are you saying? Because it really was not computing in my head that I had pancreatic cancer. And pancreatic cancer actually begins when abnormal cells in the pancreas grow out of control and they form a tumor, right? But even then, we didn't know the extent of it. So there was a lot of uncertainty there. And I, remember I called my husband and my mother-in-law to talk to them about this. But beyond that, I asked my husband not to drive home because I knew he was upset. And I really spent time that evening quietly at home alone. But I wasn't alone. And that's when I first realized, things were about to change, and drastically. I just didn't know what the outcome was going to be. So the good news was that when I left her office, she had given me an appointment with a surgeon. And that surgeon's name is Dr. Michael White, who most of my doctors call him the quarterback of my care, because he brought me to a clinical trial, which, I know a lot of people are scared when they hear those words. I certainly, had to take a couple steps back when that was recommended to me, to think, wow, is this my last hope? Or, what? I don't know what you think, Michelle, but if somebody suggested a clinical trial to you, in my mind, that meant, hey, there's no other way. What do you think?
Yeah, it's, when you talk about that and you look at how life is, and when you get those words, the words, and I'll just go on camera too for anyone seeing, is you get those words. It's almost like, for me, it was that in Charlie Brown, "Mama, mama, mama." It's like you see the lips moving, you hear, and you feel the emotion of everything is changing right now, and I don't understand. And while I have no idea of the journey of dealing with pancreatic cancer, I cannot even imagine, nor would I ever want to. But what I can do is know, and I've never even met Summer, never met her in person. We know each other just face to face by social media, and just your beautiful strength, and the times that I needed that strength. Just as a sister in Christ, you were there, and you have that amazing strength that is just something that.
I just lost your sound
Oh,
there.
can you hear me now? You've got that
Yes.
amazing, amazing strength that just comes from something that just exudes you. So I just want to say thank you for that. And, when you share your story, and you've shared it a few times here, I'm honored to say this is something that's important, and it is important for people, especially when you talk about, hey, I was just having some digestion problems. So, I'd love for you to maybe just even enhance a little bit about that and just continue sharing. This is such a beautiful story, and I'm grateful for you, Summer.
Well, thank you, Michelle. And it really is confusing because a lot of times, well, no, I would say most of the time, pancreatic cancer mimics so many different things that we think, oh, for example, this indigestion. The first thing she recommended was that I take something like a Pepsid, a prescription type Pepsid. And as I was walking out the door, I had my hand on the door, and that sharp pain hit me in the back. And I just turned around and I said, "What about my back pain? I can't even." I understand, sometimes you feel like you might get that little pain in your back, but this was different. This is what made me call the doctor. I was in that much pain, and usually I'm not. I typically would just kind of let that go if it's just something that would come and go. But I'm so glad that I was able to get an appointment and take care of that with my actual internist. But some of the symptoms, just while we're talking about this, I'd love to just make people aware of what I'm talking about. And that is, you have pain usually it's in the abdomen or your back. Maybe you have had some recent weight loss and it's unexplained. Or jaundice, which is like yellowing of the skin and or eyes, right? And this, you don't have to have all of these symptoms. You can have one of these symptoms. So I'm just mentioning, some of the top ones that they have said. And so with the jaundice, you can have that with or without itching, and then loss of appetite, nausea, change in your stool, pancreatitis, and recent onset diabetes are symptoms that may indicate pancreatic cancer. And it sounds really scary, but here's the thing. If you have any of those symptoms, when you go to your doctor, and maybe, you've tried one thing and this doesn't work with your doctor and it's a pain that persists, or it's something that, has caused some other problems or whatever, it's always a good idea to bring up pancreatic cancer, and you're not being dramatic. The reason for that is that pancreatic cancer is often found and it's too late, because it does mimic some of these things, and you think you can find a remedy or what for that particular thing, but it really never gets resolved, or it just moves on to something else. So it's just something to think about when it comes to the symptoms of pancreatic cancer.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
I do. And I was just putting into the chats as well here, because when somebody else speaks, it makes it so much easier to be able to come in and make some notes just for anybody that's listening. If you are on my YouTube or my Facebook, you got the contact information, and I've got it actually pulled up for Summer. Sorry, I put something else up there. So if you see that, Summer, my apologies. How to get in touch with Summer. And the other thing that I've got posted right now is about the about the walk. But one of the things, we've got roughly about 20, 25 minutes to just kind of just talk about when you say, hey, the symptoms and why and how that is so important. And we've talked about the gallbladder and how the gallbladder interacts with the pancreas, and how they harmonize together. I'd love to get your input, from the side of traditional Chinese medicine that goes into the organs, and where my world is of talking so much about how it's so important just for anyone that just has a good wellness, that doesn't have any issues whatsoever, especially for you young generations, because the younger you are, the easier it is to fix these issues. The older we get, it's a little bit harder, but cleansing out your gallbladder a few times, at least 2 times a year, if you have no issues. If you've got some issues that, you have that headache that comes right here into the temples, neck and shoulder. If you get a pain on your right side, sometimes it just goes over to the left. If you go into that lymphatic part right there, it's really important. If you notice eating fried and spicy, or if you eat fried and spicy, you want to clean that through. For those that may have had their gallbladder removed, I say even more so, you need to make sure that you clean out the ducts, because they take out the gallbladder, but the ducts are still there. And then what happens is those ducts are still there, and you're eating this, what Dr. Sears calls, from where I have my master certification from Dr. Sears Wellness, he calls it the sticky stuff. And you eat fried and spicy, you eat junk foods, you eat sugars, carbohydrates, all of these things just get sticky, and it's like a plaque. And this plaque, oh, it just turns into so many health issues, from dementia, plaque in the brain, um, cholesterol, plaque in the heart, and your carotid arteries, but also into stones. This sticky stuff can turn into stones and the calcifications that go into the kidneys and into the gallbladder. So it's real important to clean through that, or as well have a good diet, which is why I focus on that lifestyle, exercise, attitude, nutrition. But what happens is you've got your ducts. Let's say, for example, if you've had the gallbladder removed, the ducts are still there. So then what happens is your gallbladder is that filter. It's so important. And it's not there anymore to process the bile or poop. It's like, do we talk about that? Yes, because we need to be pooping 3 times a day to get those toxicities out. If it gets stuck, it's like bottlenecked. And where does it go? It starts kind of just backing up. If you are susceptible to stones, then what happens is those stones start shooting into the pancreas. And the pancreas then turns into, like Summer was mentioning, that pancreatitis that can turn into the horrific, nasty C word that we are talking about here, and why we are supporting this purple stride PANCAN walk, because it's important. And that goes into, wait, don't ignore any of these symptoms right now that you may be experiencing. And I'd love to just have you maybe just talk about your journey of noticing about the foods, of what you can eat. And, from time to time, we've talked about enzymes. Enzymes are really good. There's so many different things, but there's pharmaceuticals, there's lots of natural things. Love to help guide you through that. But Summer, I'm going to turn that back over to you so you can just share a little bit more about that, if you would.
Well, I can now
And
I can
some,
go ahead.
oh yeah, before we do, I just want to make a disclaimer, like we do in the Elephant Strategy and I do on all of my talks, is this is all for educational purposes only. We are not here to treat, diagnose, or prescribe. So if you are in need of immediate, or you're in immediate danger, or you're in need of help right away, please seek a medical professional immediately, or call 911, call your urgent care, your urgent vista, whatever that might be. So for your urgent services, seek help immediately. But thank you. Apologies for the interruption, Summer.
No. Most importantly, I understand that, and I had told you a little bit about just the beginning of when I was diagnosed, but in actuality, the entire journey, because I was in this clinical trial, it was a chemo treatment, or a chemo. I had a series of chemo treatments. Because what the doctor, or what the surgeon had described to me, was that I had what was called a borderline resectable tumor. In other words, it had started to spread, And it was touching things that would have made my life very complicated had they done the Whipple procedure at first, had I lived through it. So they were anticipating the chemo to shrink the tumor so that they could better attack that in surgery. I did have a couple lymph nodes removed as well during the surgery where they found that it had spread. And then following the surgery, I was supposed to have another series of chemo. Unfortunately, I was not able to do that because I was too sick to do that. I was having a hard time eating anything and maintaining my weight. Nausea was terrible. And I'm bringing this up because the Whipple procedure in itself is actually, it's an operation where they remove like the head of the pancreas, the first part of the small intestine, or the duodenum or duodenum, however you pronounce that still, I don't know. The gallbladder and the bile duct, and sometimes part of the stomach, right? Just depends. I had that procedure done. So I'm telling you all this because once something like that is done, and I've been told by every doctor that I've seen, this is why we don't do abdominal surgery, because of, some of the problems that may have ensued. However, I will say that after going through that and having all of those problems, it led me to PANCAN, where in fact, I did find out before I actually met with a nutritionist. I did find nutritional information, on PANCAN, just about foods in general, just to give myself an idea, because I had the hospital nutritionist there, but I really didn't have as many choices, because I'm in a medical facility and I really don't know what's going on. But what I did start doing was I started taking, Creon, which is, what am I trying to find? Where's the word? Michelle, what is that? It's an enzyme.
Yeah, there's different types and there's some that are like pancreatic enzymes. You want to be cautious when you go into a store, because you can find that all over the place, and you want to really consult with an expert professional in supplements, herbal medicines, or a doctor that will be able to guide you. Sometimes doctors will just say, hey, whatever it is, but there are many of the supplements, vitamins, minerals, even herbs for that matter, that can be GMO'd. So you want to make sure that you just consult with a professional. But they're pancreatic enzymes and they're digestive enzymes, and there are different ones that have the amylase is a big one. And there's a lot of other ones that I'm happy to, if anybody wants some help, just get in touch with me. Is that the one you were talking about, Summer?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's the Creon.
Yes.
And it's what I actually take. But the good news is, I want to say there's a couple things here about that. And, there's something that inside me that says, okay, yeah, natural is the way to go, right? At this point, I want to be as good to my body as possible. And here's the thing, though, that I think that, my brain kind of stops sometimes. And I was taking the enzymes, and in my mind, it was about getting rid of all of the medicine. I really was trying to get rid of all the pharmaceuticals in my life at one point. And I made myself really sick in doing that, because I didn't realize what the enzymes were to me. At this point, it's something that my body needs. And it really helps me to maintain maintain my weight. Like I couldn't lose some weight right now anyway, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. To maintain a healthy weight. It doesn't help me lose weight or gain weight. It just helps everything, do its thing and as it should, with my food, because I do take it with my food. That's made a huge difference. But I would like to explore the thought of like a healthy way that, where I wouldn't have to take a pharmaceutical like that, or, because I know that there's natural enzymes out there. So certainly would love to talk to you more about that in the future, and just kind of do some research and find out more about that. Michelle.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, this, it's all about educating, and for all of you that is listening, summer is definitely, it's a passion and purpose, not just of summer, but of myself. When we're survivors and overcomers, it's about sharing that story as long as we're here, because we know, just if we can just make a difference in one person's life. And Summer is going to be walking. She's heading up this walk that I've got the website here. You've got a team. I'm sure the team is already is completely in place. She is in. I'm going to let her talk a little bit about this. If you've got more questions about pancreatic cancer, about surviving, if you've got more questions about, hey, what did Summer do? I did pop up her contact information, and I will do that one more time. My eyes are giving me a little bit of tricks right now. So, yep, there we go. That it's there to just get in touch with her. If you can't get in touch with her, just message me, drop it in the chat right here, whichever website, whichever social media site that you're seeing this on, whether it be Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube. If you've not come and subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button right here. We'd be honored to have you into our space and look at all the different tips. We have some time, probably, we've got a little bit of time, Summer. I'd love for you to just talk about the walk right now. And then I want to say, before we close out, to say welcome Celia and give her an opportunity to ask any questions that she might have before we close out this amazing session. So take it away, Summer.
Well, thank you for that. And thank you for having me today. Really appreciate that. And, there is something that I just want to add as far as, as far as this journey has gone for me with pancreatic cancer. And that is, I really had this thought this morning, and then I saw something on social media about it. So I feel like I need to say this out loud. And that was, that I learned for myself that God never leaves us, and that he never disappoints us, no matter what. Somebody said, wow, God saved your life, from pancreatic cancer. And I said, God saved my life a long time ago.
That's right.
And I am thankful for even a few more days here to be with my loved ones and my friends. I'm very thankful, but I can't go like a moment without remembering that he carried me through that. And my husband even said to me just recently, because, writing a bunch right now and just kind of dealing with some things. And he said, I remember when I was so sick, and he looked at me and he's like, you are so strong. How are you so strong? As he had tears in his eyes, just looking at me. And I said, that this isn't me.
Yeah.
So I don't discount the power of just that knowledge of knowing that God is right there with you wherever you are. And that's whoever is listening to this at any moment of any time of any day, And so the thing that I read that made me really think about all of this was, it was something about remember the Red Sea, because God didn't remove the Red Sea. He parted the Red Sea. He made a way for them through it. The problem was still there, right?
Yeah.
But he always makes a way through it. And no matter what happens on the other side, if you have God with you, he's not there ever to harm you or hurt you. And I'm just very thankful to know that love, and I saw the love in every single person that took care of me, my family, the doctors, the nurses, etc. Things I didn't, necessarily have to do and did. And this opened my eyes totally to a relationship with God instead of a religion. And so I'm so thankful to have had that awakening in my life. And I can at another time share with you even more about how I knew that God was there. But I just want to bring that up first and foremost. And also that Saturday at the walk, I've been asked to be the survivor speaker. And I have about 2 minutes, right? That's what they said, about 2 minutes to share my story and also talk about how PANCAN has been part of my life for the better. And I'm just going to add that for the better was when I was so sick. I really was looking for a way to walk it out somehow. And I wasn't looking for a walk. I literally was looking for information online about a walk. And I have family in Texas and San Antonio. And I saw that there was a walk in November. And I want to say this was like May or June of that year. And I couldn't walk from the bedroom to the kitchen by myself, really. I was having a hard time. But I told my husband, I want to do that walk. And I want to see my family. And he said, if you will walk, I will fly you there. I will get you there. And we did that walk, and we met so many other people with PANCAN volunteering there that were survivors, that were people that were there because they had lost a loved one to pancreatic cancer. It was an entire community of people coming together for something really good. And they are making a difference in research. I mean, when I was diagnosed in 2018, the survival rate was 9%. And now we're at 12% in 2023. I expect for that to really, really, really magnify in the coming years. I really do. I mean, I can just see it and feel it, but I know that that's what we are working to do. And I'm grateful to have the opportunity to speak on Sunday or Saturday. We're going to be talking about hope.
I can't wait. You'll have to make sure that we'll have to make sure LaChelle, the other co-founder that speaks sometimes here and co-founder for the Elephant Strategy, y'all do it live so I can come in and pop in and join. This has been such a joy, Summer. Thank you so much. It's always just fills my heart. There's nothing, that song that fills my heart like you do, Jesus. And this is a Jesus moment because each one of us are here by the grace of sweet Jesus. And if there's anything that I totally enjoy doing is sharing that gift of everlasting life when you've had death at your doorstep. So I want to say that. And we've got just a few minutes and then we'll close out like we normally do. But welcome, Celia. Thank you so much for being here. I want to pass the mic to you and give you a few moments if you have any questions from our amazing speaker, Summer. And I do have a hard stop at 9:30. So just want to pass it over to you. Thank you for coming up on stage. If you're with us, Celia. I know the app goes a little wonky sometimes.
No, I am here. I just have to figure out how to get out of the chat to get back over here. But I am just coming to say hello because I haven't been on one of your rooms in quite some time, Michelle. And it was a pleasure listening to Summer share her testimony. And what a beautiful testimony it is. And I know you're going to do awesome speaking, and I know this is going to be another raging success, and I'm looking forward to continuing following you on your journey.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Thank you. I know Summer says thank you too, because she's got this, each of us right now that are listening, if you can walk in your area. Just get out and walk. Put some purple on. Put a purple wig, purple hair, whatever you want to do. Put eyeshadow, purple lipstick, whatever it is. And just get out and walk and put a little piece of paper up and post it on and tag Summer, tag me and the social media for this walk. But also want to get up and say, hey, welcome, JoJo. Would love to give you just a few minutes if you have any questions, or just introduce yourself, and before we do close. And I can't wait. I will be, just to share with you guys, I will be definitely committing to come for Wellness Wednesday once a month. My goal is to do 2 times. So as things are getting a little bit more stabilized, that's one of the things that I'm committed to do, so that we can have some wonderful topics, wonderful conversations. Doing it twice, where my focus would be, is to, I will come to you with some tips like I normally do, but then have some amazing speakers, AKA Celia, AKA JoJo, and Summer. Just you guys come on up and y'all share your story, your journey of whatever topic we have, and just share that passion. But I want to give you a few moments, JoJo. Welcome. Thank you for coming up.
Great day, everybody. Long time no see. You know, they done changed around these clubhouse hallways.
Yes,
now
they
everybody
have.
got houses, so you got to revisit people at their homes. Used to could just walk through the club.
Yep.
Yeah, so great to see everybody. I did want to say it's a beautiful day, and I know I haven't talked to everybody in a while, but I do want to say that since y'all haven't seen me, I've started a podcast. It's called The Soul Message. Anywhere you listen to your podcast, you can go check me out, The Soul Message. Or if you type in my name, Jamad, which is J apostrophe AHMAD, you'll find me. I said all that to say this. It's a great show. I really like it. I'm really excited about it. And I do want to say, I do think it's great that, from what I've heard this morning, that it's so simple to bring awareness to pancreatic cancer by just wearing your purple, going out, sharing with people, because this is something very serious. I did want to also say that I think it's important to remember that if we're alive, we have ministry left, and you'd be surprised what your ministry is. And it could be just sharing awareness, it could be just making people smile, it could be helping people have wellness, it could be sharing messages you are receiving, it could be, but we all got ministry left. That's my point. And I say, everybody get out, show your face, and let's do the work.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Thank you, JoJo. Well, it's always a joy having you, Celia, JoJo. Thank you for coming up on stage. This has been just an honor, and we will have to see y'all. Go check out one of the social media sites that we are live streaming on. Let me know how I did. Let me know how this turned out, and any bloopers. We're going to have fun with it. And of course, any improvements. Hey, Michelle, maybe you should do this next time. Whatever it is, I just welcome that, because what do? We need time to laugh, and there's nothing better than to laugh at ourselves. So whatever I messed up on, let's just laugh about it. We can say one time that, I don't know, Summer's been just there with me to try new things. And one time I did, the first time, the StreamYard, I had the mute button, and y'all could see my whole body movements going all over the place, and you couldn't hear me. The next time I had the overlay, and I had all kinds of movement and talking. Y'all could hear me, but you couldn't see me. So who knows what's in store for this one right here. But I want to just say welcome. Happy Wellness Wellbeing Wednesday. As we say here in the Elephant Strategy Club, is go and be brilliant in the world today. Just do today. Tomorrow has enough worries of its own. And Summer, what's the last one I'm missing?
You're not missing anything. That's it. Go and be brilliant in the world today. And yeah, just do today. That's perfect.
That's, well, good. And we've got the links there.
Thank you, Michelle, so much.
Yes, I am just honored and joyed. I want to wish you all off for a beautiful, blessed, and prosperous day filled with abundant health. I'm going to close out of the live stream before, and then I'll be right back with you guys on the